Alright, so this may sound funny, but my engine is now too powerful because it have too many things. I'll explain that to you. Okay, by the way, forget about the other video, about the other stuff. This is another thing that I've been working for a while and I want to show you. One problem that I had in Cave is the Python binding, because for every single class in the engine I had to manually write a code to reflect this function here, this class, into the Python API. So the Python component, this is how it looks like. This is how I had to do stuff, and there are some fixes here anyways, but this is, I had to manually write this for every single class. And I did this for a while, for years now, and I do have 46 registered classes in Python, you can see here, but this is not good, not easy to maintain. This is really hard to change, and it means that I have to write a bunch of redundant code. This is not the first time I said this. I talk about this in this channel, by the way. But and then I was like, okay, I will replace this with a better system, which is a meta-programming system. In other words, write the script that parses every single file of the engine source code and then generates all this Python stuff for me automatically. And I did it. I wrote this. And you can see right here, it does not look good because it's automatic code, but it is generated. I do have a generated file that gets compiled with the engine, and guess what? This thing is 10,000 lines of code. I get the engine to implement 10,000 lines of code. It's huge because it also registered for me the entire game engine API in AmGUI. So I'll show that in a moment. So the Python register is more like 4,000 lines of code. Let me try to find the end. No, it's more like 3,000 lines of code. Yep, it's 3,000 lines of Python registry. But here's the problem. Now I simply have, by the way, everything works. I was surprised about that, but the API worked out of the box. Like, this is not me doing stuff. This is like the Python API, and it is working. Very impressive. But if you check here, I've added this as a placeholder to see. This is the API. I do have 136 functions, classes registered, and every class do have, for example, the component. Let me open a good one here, light component. I can see the inherited class, I can see the constructors, the methods, and I can expand the method and see the return type, the parameter, which is the scene, and the properties that this light component have: color, radius, and intensity, and the type of the property. And I can access this using Python, and I can do this for everything. Now the top-down camera component, this was not registered before, and now it is. And I can see it does have a constructor, an update method, an editor update, and these variables. Okay, but this is problematic. This is not as good as I was expecting, because it turns out that now everything is registered in Python, and now it's very possible for you to completely mess things up calling the wrong thing. Because if you know, like this, all the core stuff, like the asset handle, you probably don't know what is this, because this is internally used by the engine, and it does not even make sense to be here. The unique ID is also internally used by the engine, and the what is even CM event? This is like a very internal stuff for the event handling probably, and it was not supposed to be exposed to Python, but now absolutely everything is exposed to Python. So I'm not really sure. Even networking, we don't have networking yet, but I do have the backends, as you can see here, and it is exposed here to Python as well. So I'm not really sure if I want this. This is probably not good, because you probably will be able to mess like the app class. This is like the main class in the engine, and it is here, everything is here, and the chances of you to get the app class or try to create a new one does not have constructors, because the engine does not allow this. But to mess things up here, like, is really good. You have a high chance of messing things up. So I'm not really sure if I like this, if I like having everything exposed to the engine. To one side, it's good because it means that you can create whatever you want with Cave, like for real. You can literally write everything now. But in the other way around, it also means that you can completely break the engine, and this is not exactly good, not exactly something that you want. So I'm thinking about that. Probably what I will end up doing is create like a flag. So for every single class, for example, the entity class, let me show the header here. So for the entity class, what I can do is create like a script API macro here before the class. So the parser, the metaprogramming, will know that this should be included in the scripting API. And if it does not have this, it will not going to be included. Something like that. I've been thinking about this. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. Let me know in the comments. And by the way, this is also good. Like metaprogramming is good because if you guys don't know, I want to add visual scripting to Cave. I want to add like a node system for you to write the logic, and the backend for that are done, and it's being complete for like 2 years probably. In other words, Cave Engine do have visual scripting. I think it's even possible to add a scripting here. Let me see. No, it's unlisted. Yep, it is unlisted. Let me see if I can add a visual scripting component here. Select this. New component, all. No, it is unlisted as well, but Cave Engine do have visual scripting already, but why I don't have it, why I don't have any video explaining how to use it and why it's not even listed here, because I have for every single class that the engine have, and more than that, for every single variable and for every single method, I need to create a visual scripting class node. And this will take forever. Like I have right now 136 classes. Imagine how many methods those classes have and how many variables it have. So it's impossible to manually do this. I need a metaprogramming system to do that. And now I do have, so visual scripting is close to completion. Like it's very close to for me to write a metaprogram to generate all the visual scripting, and that's it. So this is a good thing. I just need to figure out the other problem that I was talking about in this video as well. And there's another thing as well that I'm not enjoying about this. Right now, I'm using PyBind, as you guys saw here, probably. This weird code here is PyBind doing his thing. And PyBind, it turns out that this is very slow, like very slow, because it does a lot of template madness and it makes your compilation time really bad, meaning that now Cave Engine takes ages to compile. Every time I want to change something, I need to get up and go grab a cup of coffee or something like that, because it will take ages to compile, and I'm not happy with that. I'm not really happy with this many classes being generated and compiled by PyBind. And what is the solution for that? Well, I've been thinking about replacing the entire PyBind thing with PocketPy. Yeah, PocketPy is a header only, single header Python interpreter that is very easy to use and, from my understanding, very fast, even faster than Python itself. Meaning that if I manage to make this engine use PocketPy instead of Python and PyBind, the engine will be faster, it will take less time to compile, and it will also not have a bunch of Python files in the executable of your game, of the engine itself, and it will also allow me to export my games, like the games you created using Cave, for web using mscripting, because Python and PyBind does not support mscripting as far as I know, and PocketPy does. So this is a good thing, and I'm thinking and I'm studying and I've been in contact with the creator of this PocketPy thing. The guy is very supportive, and he is helping me a lot understanding everything. And maybe this is a good opportunity to move Cave Engine to PocketPy. So this is going to be good. And if I succeed in that, and I'm not promising, but if I succeed in that, Cave Engine will be faster, it will be better. I will be able to finally implement the visual scripting, and more than that, I will be able to implement other scripting languages if you guys want, like Lua or Chai script, because it will be trivial for me to create a wrapper for that. So yeah, we'll see. I'm still handling this. I'll try to figure out what I'll do with this number, because no way that I will revert this change in Cave, because I find this very useful. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I just want to talk a little bit more, and I'd love to discuss about it in the comments. So leave a comment. What do you think about that? What should I do? And that's it. Thanks and bye.